Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year.
Oh, Happy New Year, everybody. And wow, 2024 is already here. Hard to believe.
We're back
I
with
saw
another
the.
lunch bite. Sorry, go ahead, Amanda.
No, you're right. We should really do proper intros. That's the Website 101 podcast, and we're here with another YouTube live lunch bite. I am Amanda Lutz, for those who do not know me, and with me are Sean. Hello, Sean,
Hi, everybody.
and Mike. Hi, Mike.
Hello, Happy New Year, everybody.
There we go. Now I saw the funniest little cartoon today on Reddit, and it was like everyone jumped on board about how remember how pre-pandemic was only like a blink of the eyes ago?
Yeah.
Yep.
Is it? I guess 4 years now. It's been
Yeah.
4 years.
We had that realization the other day as well, and isn't that wild?
Yeah, like it has. Yeah, it has. I can't snap.
Well, the start
by
of
like
it was
that.
4 years ago, but it
Yeah.
really took about 2.5, 3 years before we got out of lockdowns and stuff, at least here in Canada.
Yeah. And then our Christmas Eve family potluck turned into a super spreader event. Hooray.
Oh, no.
So all of us have been home since Boxing Day, staying in our home.
That
Yeah.
sucks.
Yeah.
Are you feeling better
It was a
now?
long time ago, but it's not
Well,
going.
it thankfully, I feel bad. It thankfully hit Andrew the hardest. I'm a little congested, but that's it. I did get the booster in November, so maybe that
Oh, I
did
didn't get my
something.
booster yet. I keep meaning to go and do it, and I never
Yeah.
do it.
I got booster and flu shot on the same day, which was
I did that
a bold
about
decision.
4 days ago. Yeah.
I got
Okay.
the flu shot because when I go for allergy shots, they can do the flu there, but they're not allowed to do COVID for some reason. You have to go to the pharmacy, and I just keep forgetting to go to the pharmacy and get the COVID one.
Yeah. So it didn't hit me hard. Our kid was not affected very much, but Andrew was like full on. Like Andrew tested positive, like fever, shivers, classic
Yeah,
COVID.
it knocked them out.
Yeah.
That's a bummer.
And that
I,
wasn't even the worst thing that happened to me over the holidays.
Uh-oh.
That's okay. How were your holidays?
Well,
Uneventful.
uneventful, really? Mine weren't uneventful either. We don't have COVID here, but my kid, whose birthday is Christmas Day, got sick with, maybe it was RSV or some other, a really bad cough, and was just out of it for a lot of those days of his winter break, which really sucks.
Yeah.
Christmas and his birthday.
Yeah.
And then my wife got what he had because, what's going to happen. I seem to be fine so far, and he's through it pretty much, or almost. So it wasn't as bad as some people. I've heard of super spreader events as well in my circles of acquaintances. So a lot of people went through a lot of crap over the holidays, apparently.
Yeah.
Well, I'm feeling pretty fortunate that, all I had was uneventful. I just spent my time going out and doing photography or watching TV.
Yeah, that's
Cool.
Pretty much like nothing special.
Amanda, what's the end of do you have more?
I do have more. So I already asked permission to discuss all of this. My mom had a heart attack the Friday before Christmas. She's doing well. She was only in the hospital for a few days. When they did the angiogram, where they go in and test everything with dye, one of her arteries was like 95% blocked. So they did a stent. Another one is blocked like 75%, so she's got to go back in a few weeks and do that. A third one needs to be like monitored for a while. But here's like the kicker. The big problem with it is that she was visiting family when this happened, and she was sleeping by herself in their basement, and she left her cell phone on the main floor in the kitchen. So here is this like 73-year-old woman by herself in the basement, unable to contact anybody,
Yeah.
which is
Wow.
scary in itself. And then, like, obviously, since then, it's like, health is on the forefront of everybody's mind right now in my family. And it's like looking into different devices. So, this is what I want to talk about today. Like, how much and should we be relying on technology to help our overall health and well-being? Like,
Yeah.
there are smartphones that will tell you, or smartwatches. I always do that. Smartwatches that will tell you like your resting heart rate and your oxygen saturation. But should we be relying on those? You can like buy a device on Amazon that you will like measure. You can like put your arm in the cuff and measure the
Blood
is it the
pressure.
heart rate, the heart pressure, yeah, the blood pressure. But it's like, do you think that these are good devices, good things to have available? Or do you think that it's like, they're not as sensitive, we're over relying on them? You go down a rabbit hole where you start like checking it multiple times a day. I'd really like to get your opinions on that.
Well,
So
but
for viewers in the future, I'm sorry, this is so heavy to be dropping on everyone. Happy January 3rd, everyone. Let's talk about death.
Listen, if
Yeah.
anyone's watching right now and you have craziness that went on in your life over the holidays, please share in the old chat there,
Yeah.
or post a comment if you're watching this later.
so I think the tech stuff is good, and I've seen some Reddit threads that talking about people with what's the word for it? Chronic illnesses where they get the blood pressure cuff and different things like that. And while it may not be as accurate as what you get in a doctor's office, it gives you a baseline, and you can tell if you're getting worse or better compared to other days. So I think it's good. For my dad, he's got like no cartilage left in his knees, and he hasn't been able to get a knee surgery. So we got him like this falling monitor necklace thing, and so that costs some money. And whatever, that's not important. But if he falls and he can't get up, and he's in Manitoba, and if he falls outside, yeah, that's it. It's all over, right? Like,
Yeah.
so this thing actually has some false positives too, which kind of pissed him off. But
So
I
yeah,
told
so
him
I don't want
to
to
get over
interrupt.
the false positives because when they call you, it's for your own safety. Like,
Yeah.
and maybe this is something that would have been helpful for your mom when she had the heart attack all alone away from her phone, because
Yeah.
you're lucky that she survived it without medical attention.
Oh,
Like, obviously she got it
yeah.
afterwards, but
She got it
that
eventually,
initial
yeah.
moment, whether it was like an hour later she came up and go, oh, I need to go to the hall. I don't know what happened. Or
Well, that's
or
exactly
what.
what happened. She came
Like,
up later,
it might
finally.
be something you consider looking into.
Well, so here's the thing. So I know that my Pixel Watch has a fall detector, and I can turn it on. But of course, I need to be within Bluetooth range of my phone for it to like send the emergency text message. And I know that the Apple Watch has the same type of thing. But when I first read about it, what happened was that there were hundreds of false positives being recorded with this new Apple Watch feature on a ski slope.
Yeah. That's
Because people turned it on and I got a new watch for Christmas, and then
They're
look, it's got
probably
the safety
going hundreds
feature,
of meters.
and they're going super fast. So I don't know if it was because they were skiing or snowboarding, or because they fell while they were skiing or snowboarding, which is like a very acceptable, expected thing to do while you're doing that type of activity. But all of a sudden, it was like sending like a bunch of these notifications, or a call comes in that you need to answer within a certain amount of time to be like, no, everything is okay. But it was, testing it, not even testing it, like releasing it in the wild and seeing how users are actually going to interact with this feature. It blew up a little bit.
No doubt. So the thing my dad has is a dedicated fault detector from, I think, Shaw or Bell. I can't remember which, and it's connected to the internet. So it's got like a little 3G card or whatever, so that if he falls when he's out and about, it'll know where he is and it can send paramedics.
Yeah.
That's cool.
No, that is cool.
Yeah, I got my
A
mom
little different than what your phone than what your watch
what
does.
your watch will do. Yeah.
But it's it's more for a niche.
It's better.
Hard case. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's people. Not everyone. The truth is, not everyone has a phone. So, whatever.
Yeah.
Or not everyone carries it with them all the time.
Especially
I got my
older
mom.
people.
Yeah, exactly. I got my mom a Fitbit. As Amanda, you knew I asked your advice for Fitbits. You were into them a while ago. Now you've got the smartwatch. She just wanted a Fitbit, and then she's like, "Oh, all I want is something that will track my steps."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Well, you can get like a stupid little pedometer thing." But I was like, I don't think that's what you want. But now we're at this weird point where it's like, it does too much probably for her. Like she's not gonna do half of the things that this thing does. And it's the lower model of Fitbit. It's not even the fanciest one. So I think that could be something that's worth, considering with this technology. It's almost in some cases, it's almost there's too much going on.
Yeah. Well, and then the problem though is that, so my sister, everybody has met Sarah when we did that podcast episode with her. Sarah is very much into like yoga and stand-up paddleboarding and all these different types of fitness. And she's had an Apple Watch for a very long time. And it much like my Pixel, it like the Fitbit app on the Pixel or whatever, it will monitor heart rate and it will monitor like oxygen saturation and it will monitor all of these things. But it's like, how accurate is it? Like, is it worth upgrading?
I mean, it's just monitoring your the temperature and moisture on your wrist.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
How can it know all that?
Yeah. So, but if somebody doesn't have it, so it's like we were talking about maybe, hey mom, maybe you should be like upgrading to, a smartwatch or something like that. And Sarah was like, Sarah's opinion was that it's $500. Instead of spending $500 on some new device that isn't really that sensitive anyway, like just go to the grocery store and buy non-processed food. Like that's going to be a much better, if you're going to spend $500 anyway, that's probably the way to go. Mm-hmm. But it's like, I've seen other devices. I haven't purchased any of these, but I've seen other devices that are like rings that will somehow track calories in and out.
No way.
That sounds made up.
I know, right? But it's like it was tempting to research it more.
World?
Wouldn't it be cool if we could? But then it's like, do you really need to track it that specifically? Do you need to get down to like, I know that there are some people very much into fitness that will track like their food macros, their food, like a lot beyond just carbs and fat and protein. Like they'll get down into the vitamins and stuff, but it's like, do you really need a device that will be that specific, that will go that far?
Well, I do a bit of a sort of fitness program, and for the longest time I was tracking calories using MyFitnessPal, which is an app.
I've done that, yeah.
I've used that before.
But it's so much a pain in the ass. Like now all I do is track.
That's why I
the protein.
don't do it.
I don't care about all that stuff, just protein. I try to make sure I get enough protein. But what you were saying, if that thing actually does it without you having to think about it, that's the thing that I would like.
That's not bad, right?
Whether or not it's necessary, I don't know. But if I don't have to manually add stuff, that would be great.
You don't have to, just scan the barcode.
It still work. I still take it out and drag it, and it doesn't see
No, I
it, and
know.
how many grams, and
I know.
who cares?
No, it's true. I get that. Yeah, like when that
doesn't work if you're doing like family packs of meat and stuff. Then you actually have to weigh it, and then I cooked for the whole family. Now I have to weigh my portion and guesstimate how much sugar is in the sauce or what. Jesus, that's way too much effort.
I understand. I can also see, so I know that this is maybe something that the two of you have no experience with, but the baby market is massive. Yeah. And literally any device for the baby market it exists, they have it, and you could spend a lot of money on it. Like they have, it's like it's something that you plug into your phone to increase like a Doppler sound so that you can like do your own sonograms at home with your smartphone. And it's like, and when 100 years ago, when I was pregnant with Malcolm, Like, and of course you're on the baby forums and messaging and whatever. And there are some people who are like, oh, should I get it? And other people were straight up like, don't. I have it and now I'm obsessed with it. And I will check this heart rate happening, this like fetal heart rate multiple times a day. And it sucks up so
Yeah.
much time. And after Malcolm was born, we had he was in the NICU for a couple weeks because he wasn't eating. And after that, of course, being in like a new first time parent, it was like my obsession to make sure he ate enough. We borrowed, didn't even have to purchase, but we borrowed a friend's like medical grade infant scale. Like somebody that we knew just had one because they had gone through the same thing and went and purchased this. So we borrowed it. And I mean, thankfully, Andrew of Sounder Mind, if he wasn't around, I would have been weighing that kid before feedings and after feedings and in the middle of the day in case he pooped later, just to make sure that, because I was very quickly ready to go down that rabbit hole.
Yeah.
No experience with this. These kind of things did not exist when my kids were young. I can't imagine having them. It's already too much just to monitor myself.
Yeah.
And I can easily see people getting obsessed with it and
Yeah.
getting to a point where it's unhealthy for you and your kid. Like obviously in maybe in your case, you know, with a kid that had some health issues, it might be important for a short term, but what if you get it and you can't break away from it because it's like, oh, now the kid's going to be 12 years old and you're going to be insisting on twice day weighings or something.
Yeah.
Some people could get that obsessed.
Here's
Not
here's
saying
a,
you would do that.
I gave up long before. I think he's fine.
she
I
gets
got through that
so
first year and I was like, he's indestructible now. That's fine. Everything's good.
much. I have a quick story about tech maybe not working as efficiently as it should in this area. When Max was young, we had one of those mattress monitors for like sudden infant death syndrome, where it monitors his breathing, whatever, while he's asleep. It goes under his mattress. It's like a
Yes.
pad, and it connects to your baby monitor.
Yes.
And one night we were sound asleep, and all of a sudden the monitor, it lets off this huge siren, which is the signal that he has not moved in 5 seconds or 10 seconds, like no breathing, nothing. I swear to God, I have never been so terrified in my life. I jumped out of bed, Swapna did too, but we both raced into his room, and it turns out he was, if this is the mattress, like, and that's the top of the mattress, he was laying here, and the mattress was like pushed up a little off of the bottom of the crib, so the sensor just wasn't detecting the mattress for him at all for long enough that it set off. Oh my God, everything was fine. He was sound asleep, snoring or whatever. He was fine.
He didn't wake up from the alarm?
Well, no, the alarm was
Different
in our
room. Yeah.
Oh, right.
Baby monitor.
Baby, purposely waking up the baby.
Wake up, kid starts shaking him.
Yeah. So, okay. So now then my question though, did you keep using it after that?
Well, yes, we did. And to be fair, I'm glad we had it, and it put my mind at ease in a lot of ways. We tested it thoroughly. Obviously, they didn't account for this feature to happen, this situation. But despite that, I'm glad we had it. But yeah, that's an example where it failed. Fortunately,
The false
there's nothing
positive.
wrong. Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
anyway, but yeah, it's interesting to think about all that stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
And
And this is
actually,
just,
Go ahead.
oh no, I was just going to say like, this is barely touching the tip of the iceberg, talking about like baby devices and monitoring old people for falling. Like I'm sure that there are so many other like industries and niche areas that have very specific, very calibrated, but like that your average Joe can just go out and purchase. That could be like for like specific, really delicate weights for baking, or if you do like car maintenance at home. I'm sure that there are different things that you can get for that are like, how good are they, and how specific do you really need it to be though? Like think of all the industries that are making bank just from people like us.
Health related stuff. You could see
It's a huge
high-end
industry.
stuff for athletes, for people who have chronic illnesses, diabetes alone, like there's these monitors and things that you can like implant into your body.
Yeah.
Like there's just so many different things. And I think for specific people or specific niches, it's fine. But for the average layman, it's probably too much and can lead to this like cycle of worrying or overanalyzing it when it's actually going to become detrimental to your health if you're
Yeah.
always thinking about the metrics.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
It's definitely
we-
easy to become a little bit obsessed.
Adjacent to that, the best thing I ever did for my mental health was turning off all notifications on my phone. I don't have a single one that gives a sound. I've got 2 that will put a silent notification. That's it. Everything, all notifications are gone.
Yeah.
Now I no longer like beep, beep, beep. Oh, I gotta look at my phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm driving. I don't know anything
Oh,
because
God, no,
I don't get any
especially driving.
notifications.
Yeah.
It's funny
I mean,
that
I never looked at my phone while driving, but you can see like lots of people do.
Backpedal, backpedal, backpedal.
lots of people do. That is for sure. If
Lots of people
it's
do.
terrifying, like walking down the street and looking at people doing this as they're
Yeah.
Oh, I'm at a traffic light and I'm just watching people driving across or next to me. It is also illegal to be looking at your phone when you're stopped at a stoplight.
So we have a Tesla for any viewers who don't know that. And of course, one of the reasons to get the Tesla is for the self-driving. And it makes sense. And I will admit that it has been tempting. I also don't check, but it has been tempting to like, as it's in the self-driving to like maybe, like what time was my appointment again, to take a quick look at my phone, or, the kid wants a different radio station. And so like trying to mess around on that tablet to try to like change it to exactly what you want it to change when you're not super familiar with it. It's hard. So I have noticed lately that if the Tesla now uses the internal camera, that if the driver's eyes aren't facing forward for a long enough, like for a certain period of time, or if they look away for a certain amount of time, a notice will come up on the thing and be like, eyes on the road. So it's like now,
That's cool.
I mean, the car made it easier to look away, and now the car's yelling at us for looking away.
Doesn't it also make you have your hands on the wheel? That's
Yeah.
what I thought. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not even just hands on the wheel, because Andrew found on Amazon you could get weighted plastic Hulk smash fists that you could like hang on your Tesla, so that it would register that. So now what happens is you have to actually. It's kind of like you're supposed to be driving. You're supposed to, the steering wheel is supposed to like sort of feel the jiggle every once in a while. My problem is that I usually just drive so smooth anyway, because I'm such a great driver, that it's like my hands will be on it and I'll still get the notice that it's like, move the steering wheel so we know you're there. And it's like, I'm here.
No human could be driving this well. You must be focusing on something else. Put your hands back.
Apparently some can.
That's
But
why
yeah,
I'm
so
jealous of
it's,
the Tesla, by the way.
Amanda's next career is driving instructor.
no, it's not. Oh my goodness. I super do not have the patience for that. And I don't know what we're going to do with Malcolm in another, however long it is until
I'll
he
tell
starts
you what we
driving.
do. Both my kids got their license.
Pay
Well,
someone?
My son hasn't started the lessons, but he got his beginner. Yeah, you send them to the driving school. You pay a couple $100. They do a few hours. So with my daughter, I told her, look, I'll happy to take you around, practice, give you some pointers and stuff, but your initial couple of hours in the car must be with an instructor because they're trained on how to teach driving. Plus, they have a brake pedal on the right-hand side, so they can, stop if they have to. My car doesn't have that.
Yeah, I know.
So once she got that done, I took her around and helped her out. She liked driving with me better than my wife because I didn't panic for some reason. And what I did is when I was teaching her or helping her practice parallel parking is I covered the backup cam. So I forced her to do it old school.
Yeah, no, that's good. Sorry, I started laughing because hey, dear Elon Musk, if you ever end up watching this, add on the Tesla app just like a student driver setting so that the parent, which is just a big red button that says brake, so that the parent
that would be
teaching their
awesome.
kid could just be like, no.
That's a great idea. Although
That
it could
is.
be abused.
No,
It
but
would be abused.
I would make it so that my thinking on that is, and I love it, is that you have the setting behind a password, so only the owner of the car or whatever could enable the big red stop button.
Yeah. Anyway.
I mean,
yeah.
or someone who knows your password.
Because otherwise you're gonna have like some douchebag friend who's in the back seat or in the front seat.
No. But the douchebag friend in the back seat isn't going to have a Tesla app that's connected to my car.
Oh, I'm thinking it was like on the screen in the
No,
car.
no,
and you
no,
just
no.
like
There's
bang
like
it there, so
there's an
all
app
on
that
your
you
phone.
get that connects to the car. And anyway,
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
regardless, I think it's a great idea for like driver training.
yeah, not in my car though,
Do they not,
and everybody else's car.
in this province, do they not have, when I was in school in the Maritimes, we had driving instructing as part of the school program. That
No.
doesn't exist here. It was
No.
like after school, there's a course for
So
those who are learning to
when
drive.
yeah,
I
when
I
I
did driver's ed in Manitoba also.
driver's ed, I guess, yeah.
I did driver's ed in Ontario, but it was voluntary. You had to pay for it, and then it actually helped the insurance
Okay.
because
Yeah, I
because
guess I
like
don't
you
know.
were
as in
certified or whatever.
Same as in Manitoba. It was like there's big announcements all over the school, but you had to pay for it, and it wasn't required. You didn't get course credit for it, but everybody did it because that's how they're going to get their lessons. And they gave the school a deal because, hey, we're going to advertise with you, so students there get a little bit lower charge than if
But
you
see, when I
called
did
us
it-
from the yellow pages.
The instructor was one of my teachers. Like it wasn't
Oh.
it wasn't from the
Oh,
driving
that's
school.
different.
Yeah.
No, this was like much like Sean, and we were I was in a really small town, so I'm sure that it was some company that was like based in Sarnia and came out the however many days a week they needed to cover all the students.
Wow.
I didn't hear anything about driver's ed from my daughter or my son in high school. I could ask them, but we just paid for a school, one of those classes that does it, and boom, all good. Funny story, all the driver's ed places, they all drive on our street. They all do practice parallel parking on our street.
Yeah.
So much so that the Karens in the neighborhood were petitioning to make it illegal for them to do it. They came to my door and it's like, oh, we don't like all the driver schools here. And I was like, I support it. Goodbye.
Yeah,
And closed the
like,
door. I was like,
Good for
I
you.
want my kid to be able to do this.
Yeah,
Like,
at
if
least-
every neighborhood says no, nobody's going to learn how to drive. And
you know
she's
what?
like- she was shocked that I was
I
in
would-
support of it.
Much rather have student drivers than the idiots that go tearing down my one-way street at like with a elementary school on it. And the speed limit's 30. These people are not going 30.
I restrained myself from calling her Karen, but I just told her I support it and closed the door.
What
I'm
a weird
impressed with
thing
your
for someone to
restraint.
complain about. Why would anyone
People
be
complain
object
about
to that?
everything.
Because, well, it can periodically be annoying when somebody is trying to do a 3-point turn and they're blocking the road and they can't figure it out. And the one thing I don't like is too often they're parallel parking really close to the intersection that goes onto the main road. They should be doing it further back into the neighborhood, same street, but not so close to the main intersection.
Yeah, you wouldn't think the instructor would get them to do that move so
Yeah,
close.
Yeah.
To
some people just like they don't care, right?
Wow.
We're also live really close to a driving testing center. I can walk there in about 20 minutes.
That'll
So
do
I think some of the traffic is also people actually getting tested.
Getting tested, probably, yeah.
Like, like we're right next to the DVP, so when they go for their highway test, they go onto the highway right next to our house.
Yeah.
Well, should we wrap it up? It's 12.
I think so.
I think we should. Happy
I
New
like
Year,
the,
everybody! Thanks for tuning
Happy
in.
New Year.
Yeah, we got to work on eventually getting a show out. We actually do
Yeah.
a podcast, everybody.
We do, if anyone was curious. We've
Actually,
got
we
lots
do.
of back episodes. You could go catch up on some of those while we're.
We should do one of those rebroadcasts. You ever see that during the holidays? They just throw out one old one and they say
Yeah.
they put a new intro on. Hey, this is a great one with Ben Croker. You should check it out or whatever.
Oh yeah,
Put one of those on there.
we have enough that we could easily do that.
Yeah.
for
Anyway,
a whole season.
get them, yeah, right. Season of rebroadcast.
No. We're gonna record
no,
real
not that.
ones.
All right. Happy New Year, everybody. Good to see
Bye.
you
Happy
all.
New Year. The stream has